I'm just going to save just so it's there. Now we purposely I've got our toothbrush and our toothpaste in two separate files. Okay, so I'm going to just close one. It doesn't matter which one. What's that error for? Okay, it's disappeared. I think that's because it hadn't saved online yet. So then I'm going to go into my data panel and find the one that I was just working on. So where are we? So it should be found my video. So I'm going to right click, go into insert into current design and click on it. And it will bring it into the middle of my document, literally in the middle. That's obviously not where I want it, so I'm going to have to move it around a little bit, move it into position. Maybe I want to rotate it around a little bit. Okay, that's still not where I want it, so let's continue to move. And you all the way down. Okay, now let's have a look. So let's go to capture position. Let's go into render. So you can see we've got a toothbrush and our toothpaste, which on its own would be fine, but as we've seen in the previous videos, we want to sort of like have a scene and a context. So that's the last little bit of this video we're going to do, sort of try and give it more context and render a final scene for it. So just before that, we've brought in our toothbrush, our toothpaste. Now it says here it's got a link. Now what that means is it's linked to that previous document. So if I edit it in this document, it'll be edited in the overall document. So I don't really want that. So I'm going to go to right click and break link. Now if I do something to this, it won't affect the other one. So I'm just going to change the name of this as well. So let's call this toothpaste. So you see here, we've got our components. So it's a very good idea to make sure you keep naming your components. So we've got toothbrush head, body, and toothpaste. You don't have to do it, but it really is good practice, particularly when you have more complex shapes. And then also, if you're going to start doing technical drawings from your models, you need to have separate components. So I'm going to draw one other extra little bit first, and then I'm going to sort of build a scene for it. And I think what I'm going to do is, with your electric toothbrush, you need to have a little charger that goes with it. So let's just make a sketch. And we're going to go circle. And I've not got exact measurements for this, I'm just sort of trying to make it look as realistic as possible. Let's just move this down. Oh. Okay. E for extrude. I'm going to bring it up. And I want to taper it in a little bit. Like that. Then let's go to, in fact, let's just do shell. Let's do shell. Bring it in. But let's do a bit more of a thicker shell than that, I feel. Okay, so we've then, in my bodies here, let's make a new component. Let's call this brush charger. And then let's have a cable coming out of it. So we're going to go to construct tangent plane. Let's do this surface here. Rotate around. Do the same again. Construct tangent plane. Again, this is all so that we can have a mid plane. Hopefully getting used to the idea of using planes to sort of get what you want. Once you get used to it, it makes your life a lot easier. Because remember, you can't just draw things in the middle of nothing. You need a plane or a surface to do it on. Okay, so we've got this mid plane. I'm going to create a sketch. Let's go to spline. I'm going to just have it coming in. I'm just going to sort of do a little bit of a random sort of wiggly cable type of thing. Go to finish sketch. And then I'm just going to move some of these points so it looks a little bit more realistic. So let's right click, move. Let's just move you. Oh. Let's delete that. If you ever see any purple lines on there, what that's done is Fusion has sort of like constrained your sketch a little bit, which a lot of the time is helpful, but sometimes it does fix things in place and it becomes a bit annoying. So just sometimes if things aren't moving, it's because it's trying to constrain something for you. And all I'm doing now is just clicking on each one of these points and moving them off a flat plane just to sort of make it look. Okay, so there I didn't click on that, I just clicked on the whole line, which I didn't want. I wanted this exact point. Just because it then makes it look more like a wire. And all these sort of things do make your model look more realistic, particularly with the end scenes. Okay, so I'm going to go to Create and Pipe, click on this, and let's try like 5. Now we want that to join. Okay, so we see we've still got a bit of cable. Now we don't want this bit in here, so let's go to, in fact, yeah, we'll go to split body with that surface there. Okay, then what I can then do is find out which body that is. Let's go and edit and remove. And nice and easy, I can just okay, so all that was just to sort of get my cable looking real. Then let's just do a little charger on there, like this little bathroom charger that you see. I'm going to click on Sketch, Rectangle, Center Rectangle, just go to the middle of it. Again, there's no exact way to what I'm doing, I'm just trying to see what I think looks right. And the main part of this project really was to do the toothbrush and the toothpaste, but scenes do matter. It does, like I say, I've said it a few times already, it gives your model context, which particularly for those that are wanting like the A's, A stars at A level, make a huge difference. Let's just fill it these edges a little bit, run them down. And in reality, these little things, they don't take a huge amount of time to do, but it does make a huge difference in terms of how your work is perceived. And then if you then go into industry, this is how you would then present to like a client and those sorts of things. Let's try, okay. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to just make a little charger socket. Okay, so I'm going to use some construction lines here just to find the middle. Okay. Around the middle. Don't want that bit, so I'm going to click on circle. So that would find the middle for me. Let's create and mirror. Let's mirror that line. So we know that they are equal. Let's go on E, extrude. Bring those out a little bit. And let's just fill it the ends. Like I said, there's no right and wrong way of doing this, it's just sort of how you think looks best. So if I come out now, you see I've made a little charging port. Let's add some materials. So we're on bodies, so that's ABS white. Then I think for faces here, let's duplicate, change that to black. In fact, let's just see, this probably make a life a bit faster. Okay, and then let's do faces for this. Let's bring ABS white. There you go, yeah. Oh, no, dragging the wrong one. We'll jump over to render in a second just to see how we're looking. And then let's use steel here just to make it look like proper pins. Okay, so let's close our menu. Let's just have a look in renders. Let's go to render. Then you can see now it looks a lot more realistic. So the last thing now is we're going to just draw a little scene for it. So what I've found here, I'm going to do sort of like a little sync counter. So I found an image like this, not a massively difficult thing to do, but again, just sort of when you go into render, in reality, things don't just float in nothingness. So at the minute, okay, the models are very, very nice, okay, but it kind of looks like things are just sort of floating in the middle of nothingness, which we sort of want to avoid. So let's go to the top surface. So we are going to create a sketch on this surface here. Let's do a rectangle. Again, there's no exact measurements for what I'm doing. I'm just trying to go proportions wise of what I think will look about right. Let's move this. Now we will move everything so it looks like it's sitting on there, but at the minute we're just sort of getting the overall shapes for what we want. So let's try minus like 50. Let's try a bit more. Okay. Now we definitely want to have our sync on there. So let's have a look. Let's go to a rectangle. Okay, and all I'm doing now is just trying to model a decent look. Like you want to spend a little bit of time on your scene, but you don't spend a huge amount. And then let's go to fillet, fillet the edges, let's bring them in. Okay, let's model our bathroom taps. So let's rectangle. Let's find the middle so we know we're going to be okay. It's probably a little bit too big, so let's just do an offset. Let's try that instead. Yeah, you do have to be careful sometimes. You don't want to make things look out of proportion. That's what sometimes makes scenes look a little bit off. It ends up looking a bit out of proportion. Okay, let's hopefully this will start to make sense in a minute. I really am just trying to freehand sort of how I think a nice bathroom would look, like a bathroom, like countertop. Okay, I think we'll probably have a little towel rail. Come in. Now here, because I'm going to do a towel rail, so this is a nice little trick if you want to do like anything pipe-like. I'm going to come nowhere near out, actually that's far too far out. Do like, yeah, like that. I'm going to change it to new body. Okay, and then I'm going to go to create. Oh no, first of all I'm going to fill it, sorry. So I'm going to fill these edges round. Okay, and now I'm going to go to pipes, I'm going to create and pipe. Click on that surface. And click on new body. Now which body? Okay, I don't want that anymore. What I can then do, move this down to position like that, so I've got what looks like a nice little towel rail. So let's start to add some materials. So there is actually a very, very good amount of material options in Fusion for you to play around with. So it's definitely worth having a look. Two faces. But let's do this. There we go. Then let's go to faces. And we will keep jumping back over to render in a second to see how it's looking. I'm sure we've got some marble. Marble white. Let's have you come in here. Actually, I want to fill at these edges a little bit as well, because otherwise it's going to look a little bit too harsh. So I think we're nearly done, so let's just okay, let's have a little bit of a look. Okay, so that's definitely starting to look. I think that's proportion-wise is quite good. We'll move them into position a little bit as well. So let's put a little back on there. Let's go to create sketch. Drag it up. Come quite a bit way up. Finish. E for extrude. No, I don't want to join because otherwise it's going to take the marble, which I don't want. So let's go to new body. And then everyone's got a mirror in front of their sink, otherwise you can't brush your teeth. So let's do construction line first just to check that I'm being accurate, just to come up so I know that's the middle, like that. Then let's turn construction off. Move it down a little bit. Okay. Extrude that out. Okay, let's go to new body. To appearances, let's do like a nice dark wood. Let's see what we've got. Okay, and then we do have a mirror. So let's have a look for mirror. Again, let's jump into render. See how it's going to look. So I'm just going to extend these out because you don't want to see any of these grey bits. Let's come out. Let's just go to press pull. Just drag you out. Like that. Do the same on this side, press pull. So you don't want to see any of the grey, like photo booth that you see with Fusion. So let's just drag out again. Okay. Go back into render. So the main feature obviously is the toothbrush and the toothpaste. That's what we're really after. But that's why it's good to have a little bit of a scene to make the rest of it look more realistic. And I might do like a little plug socket there. Okay, so that really is your toothbrush, toothpaste project, mainly looking at lot and then sort of building a little scene to go along with it. At the end of this video, I will just show you a little screenshot of my final render. So just to show you render, so far we've looked at in-canvas render. What you can do, if you click on the little teapot here, you go to render as well. Because we've got an education account, we want to do cloud render and we'll do final. It'll say credits required. If you didn't have an education account, it would charge you, but it doesn't, which is really, really useful. Then click on render. It will say that it's starting. And then what will happen is if you go to the render gallery down here, click up, and this is where it will appear. Now it says it's going to take about 20 minutes, slightly less than 20 minutes. You can carry on working because it's done cloud rendering, it's not local, and then it'll give you a nice high quality image of your finished model. So that is the end of the Loft tutorial, toothbrush, toothpaste. If you've got any other questions or there's any other kind of videos of modeling you want me to have a go at, please let me know.